I'm recording. Hello, welcome to the first training call of 2025 for Team Driven to Diamond. I am so excited. And when I was thinking about how I wanted to come to you guys this morning, I went over a few different things and I thought, okay, I can share practical tips and tools and all the things and have recruiting and all that, but I feel like in talking individually with many of you, what I found to be the number one issue for all of us was mindset. Every single time I said, okay, let's work through this, there was a limiting belief of some kind. I'm not capable. That lady's better than me. I've never been able to do it before. How could I do it now? These limiting beliefs are things that when we allow ourselves to just hang on that, we literally limit ourselves. We put a cap on something that God didn't put a cap on. And so one of the things I really want to do is position us in a way that we can feel successful and we can full on challenge those things that we believe about ourselves. And some of the hard things about limiting beliefs is that you didn't wake up this morning and say, I choose to believe that I'm incapable of getting things done. Limiting beliefs come as accumulation of trauma, life experience, inexperience, and just that full on understanding that you're the only one in your head. And other women, like, we can't read each other's minds. So I don't know that you're also dealing with these things, but I sure am on the inside here. And so maybe I grew up and in my childhood, with being, I'm one of four kids. I'm the middle child. So older brother, two younger sisters, and the younger sisters were twins. So it was like the need for, it was even double for my mom, right? So I grew up feeling like I better get to my point quick because no one wants to hear me. That limiting belief has come full circle to the point where now I'm like, well, I have to run training calls. I have to feel like I'm worth listening to. But it was like, just get to the point, Nellyssa. You're, I don't have the time. And so that's one of those limiting beliefs that I had to look straight in the face and say, hey, that's not true. I have words worth listening to. And so every single one of us has something from our childhood, something that is linked to accumulation of, like my mother wouldn't tell me. If I asked her, Mom, do you think I'm worth listening to? She'd say, absolutely. Without a doubt. But she was dealing with other things where in the moment there was always a fire to put out. So for her, she didn't understand that she was maybe shaping a belief that I had for myself. And so what I want to do is to learn how we can position ourselves during moments where we are coming face to face with a limiting belief, with a thought process that is just not true. So one of the first things that I find very useful is um, to be connected to our community. These little Zoom chats that we have where you are in person, being able to contribute in the chat, being able to share your thoughts, being and us engaging together, that is what the Bible talks about. It's like bearing each other's burdens, being that friendship thing where we can say, okay, we're in this together. I'm low, you hold me up. You're low, I hold you up. We are here to lean on one another and to support one another. And this is where we can become vulnerable and we can share those inner thoughts that we're battling so that as sisters here, we can say, hey, you know what? I think that's a belief that you have about yourself that may not be true. We want to be able to confront limiting beliefs, which means in confronting, we have to be aware that what we're dealing with isn't true. So if you only let those thoughts stay here and you don't say, I don't believe in like confessing truths or like, I believe that words have power. So I don't want you to just walk around saying I can't do it. That's not true. I so a part of it is okay in one-on-one coaching sessions or when you're talking to a friend saying, "Hey, I'm finding that I'm struggling with a thought process." Or I find that when I'm thinking about what I can achieve, I think I can't go very far. And flush it out. My goal is to not just confess an untruth. My goal is to flush out the untruth to replace it with a truth. We never just want it to linger there. Um, and when we're confronting those limiting beliefs, we want to address the lie, understand, okay, that is a lie. Where is it coming from? So that we can say, okay, is it true that out of all the thousands of women that have been able to make an income from Plexus, we'll go through that route. Is it true that I am the only one who is entirely incapable of making money? Is that true? Okay. Have I earned an income yet? No. Just we'll say you're just starting out. Have I earned an income yet? No. Does that mean you'll never earn an income from Plexus? No. Does it mean that maybe your systems are broken and we have to work on communication and recruiting and relationship building? Yeah. Those are things that are teachable. And if you remain coachable, you can overcome. Is it completely impossible for you to earn six figures from this company? No. Does it feel impossible sometimes because we have no idea what we're doing? Yes. But does that mean that at some point you won't be able to overcome? Especially if you are spending time in learning and in relationship. I these are these moments where I had a beautiful conversation yesterday with someone and they were sharing about how they were talking about me and they were saying, Nelly, you're so confident and I just want to be like you. And I had to say, hold on, I'm not confident. I just do it scared. I just, but we all have to get to that place where we show up and we say, whether I know what I'm doing or not, it's okay if I fail because that's just redirecting me. It's okay if I don't know what I'm doing because in trying, I'm learning. Brittany Howard, one of my favorite Plexus ambassadors, always talks about saying everything is figure outable. Everything is figure outable. If I don't know how to do it, that's okay. We can figure it out. We can work on it. There's there are so many places where we can invest in our understanding, leadership, growth, communication. There's so many places that we can learn and lean into that will develop us into the person that we want to be. So like even though for me, um, I've had those fears of, okay, maybe I'm talking too long, maybe I'm annoying, maybe I'm aggravating, and then confront the limiting belief. I have value to offer. I can show up my face, however it is, that the morning of, it's not running out of my nose because my kids have been sick and now I'm fighting the germs, and I can still have value to offer. And these are those thoughts where you can, if when you feel it, and sometimes we don't realize that we're feeling it because it's our minds are amazing the way they work. Where it's a feeling, it's a thought, it's kind of something on the back of our head, but it channels the action that we take. So if we believe that there's no possible way for us to earn more than $300, that there's absolutely no way, no one wants to hear us, no one wants, well, then what does that lead to? Not taking action, not reaching out, not asking questions like, hey, would you consider my gut health supplements? Or not being willing to feel vulnerable and exposed and putting yourself out there, right? So these are those things that we want to keep in mind that sometimes we can flush out the limiting beliefs by looking at our actions. What have I done today? Have I taken intentional action? And if you haven't taken intentional action, why? Why have I not done the thing that I know so and so has done to be successful? I see that this diamond over here says if I show up in my stories every day, talk about my life and share about Plexus, that I'll get people to join my team. Why am I not doing that? Is it because I don't really believe that I can grow a team? Is it that I don't believe I have a story worth sharing? Is it because I feel like I haven't made enough progress? Guys, let me tell you, I lost I've lost 60 pounds ish in my wellness journey. It's taken me almost 2 years to lose 60 pounds. When you calculate that, there's how many weeks in a year? 57, 50. I can't even think of it. 52, right? I'm like my brain's like not even doing what it's supposed to be doing. There's 52 weeks in a year. So it's taken me almost 2 years to lose 60 pounds. So the average is less than half a pound a week. And that's a healthy loss. But at the beginning of my journey, I couldn't say, I lost half a pound this week. Come join me in Plexus. Like like that feels. And so I remember even thinking when I started, I wasn't going to start sharing my story until I got pregnant. I'm not pregnant. It's been 2 years. My health journey has been one that's so intense that like I didn't know I had to change my diet. I didn't know that I had to start moving my body and doing weight resistance because of the type of dysfunction, the metabolic dysfunction that if you don't lift weights, you're not going to get the metabolism fix that you need to do. I didn't know. So like almost the first entire year of my wellness plexus journey was not changing my diet and not moving the way my body needed it to. Okay, so that's like a year wasted. And I thought, I'm going to get pregnant in 3 months and then I'll start talking about plexus. Didn't happen. But I lost, I think in my first 3 days, I did the 3 day reset. In my first 3 days, my good friend Christina looked at me. She goes, oh, you have better energy. Okay, 3 days, right? I started on Friday. Saturday, I was exhausted, worn out. I was like, this is awful. Sunday, I led worship at church and I felt fine. And my friend was like, "Oh my goodness." She goes, "You're moving like you have so much more energy. You like, well, Nelly, I can tell you've lost weight around your neck and right here." I don't know what she was observing, but like I lost 6 pounds in 3 days. And she's like, "I can see it. Oh yeah." Blah, 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 blah. And she was like hyping me up. So then I was like, "Oh yeah, come on, let's go." I had no understanding of gut health. I didn't know how these products were working. I just knew that they made me feel better. And I just spewed excitement and energy at anyone who gave me an inch. Like if they were like, "Oh, you look great." Yeah, let me tell you about gut health. Oh my gosh, these products work so great. I've lost 10 pounds in 6 weeks. It's been so great. And and literally that is what draws people to getting started. Like, okay, when you look at an ad I feel like I'm getting off track, but hopefully this is helpful to you. Um, when you look at an ad for Coca-Cola or for Burger King, you know what they're not telling you about? Their ingredients. You know what they're not telling you about all the little. At first, we put the bread, and then we put this chemical-laden meat patty, and then we put this artificially created cheese, and then we put our sauce that has 25 ingredients. Like they're not telling you that, but what they are telling you is your life will change. You're gonna feel good. You're gonna have a life experience. You might meet the woman of your dreams or the man of your dreams. Sorry, ladies talking again. So like, like whoever they're hyping up, they're creating a narrative of the story that you're going to experience when you take their product. And so with Plexus, it's that it's not just a gut health. 90% of our serotonin is produced in our gut, and 70% of our immune system is produced in our gut. And if you want to feel happy, you have to deal with your gut. I feel amazing on these gut health supplements. And I want you to feel amazing too. Don't you want this? You want this. I had more women in my first 4 months on social media. I had more women coming at me like, I want your energy than anything else. It was straight up, I want your energy. So I said, hey, you want to know what? Just a month ago, I was basically laid up on my sofa, especially at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Didn't want to move, didn't want to do anything. If my kids wanted something, they had to bring it to me. And so I had to, like, and that's so relatable that they don't really ask me, what are the ingredients in that? It's, yeah, I want that experience. And I say, okay, we'll try it. 60-day money back guarantee. Come on, that's why I did it. I thought if it didn't work, I'll just get my money back. Here I am almost 2 years later. I'm still chugging. Like these are these things that we can use to help other people. So let me get back on the track of like the whole mindset thing. 'Cause I'll get started on that. confronting limiting beliefs, of understanding that we can do hard things. You don't have to know all the stuff. You don't have to be the professional or anything. It's just being excited about where you are in your story. I think my whole point with all of that was at the beginning, I sold Plexus on my excitement and energy more than on any facts that I shared. And that's the most important thing. My second tip, so my first tip was confront your limiting beliefs. However that looks, right? We want to confront the limiting beliefs. What is it that we're believing about ourselves? That if someone said to you, so if I said to you, Faith, I think that I am not capable of leading a team. Straight up, I know Faith will be like, "No, you are the best leader I have ever had. I love you so much. Of course you can do it," right? It's a limiting belief of me that I have of myself. But what if Faith looked herself in the mirror and said, "I don't think I'm capable of leading a team"? Who's going to stand up and say, "Faith, yes, you can. Yes, you can. I see how you love on people. I see your genuine nature. I see how you lead your family and your children. I see how you show up every day as authentically as you can. Of course, you can lead a team." These are the limiting beliefs that we can easily say, well, of course she can do it, but why can I? And so you have looking at one another, if you would straight up rebuke that other person for saying it about themselves, then that's a belief that you have to confront. That is one that you have. There's absolutely nothing about me or about you that makes any of us incapable of accomplishing what other women have done. Nothing. Literally, the only people that don't make it to the top of the company are those that quit. Like whether it takes you 2 years, 10 years, 15 years, you can make it to the top. Excuse me a second. Hey, baby. Mommy's in a meeting. You want to say hi to my friends? He said, oh, nope. So keeping that in mind. And so this is something where maybe we can do exercise about it. You can reach out to me, reach out to your upline, or just stare yourself in the mirror. Say, okay, if my friend said this about themselves, what would I tell them? And let's flesh out those limiting beliefs. Okay. 2, write out who you want to be. Write out who you want to be, and then revisit that every time you're struggling or until you believe it. I have I have my affirmations, my goals, whatever in my bathroom mirror. And every day I read down it. And when I was first starting out on Instagram, building my contacts, I would literally to my phone say, I am here to serve. I'm here to help. I have value to offer. And then I'd go in and start having conversations with people until that type of thinking became my norm. I didn't start off feeling like that. I started my Instagram journey feeling like I'm annoying, I'm overly aggressive, and that no one wants what I have to offer. And so I had to go in and say, I have value, I'm here to serve, and I'm a magnet of women who want to invest in their health. That's one of my things. And so, like, whatever you need to say to help yourself. And what I love though is that I've had people tell me in the last 2 months ish, you're magnetic. Yeah, I am. You want to know why? Because I've been telling myself that I am. Like that, what you literally, like, the Lord has put that ability in us to speak truths about ourselves. And so, like, if you tell yourself, man, I'm annoying and no one wants to hear you, you better believe that. Everyone's going to agree with you. That until you start flipping the script on how you believe, it's going to keep rolling in that way. Okay. Next, my third tip. Ask yourself, am I happy with where I am if I gave up today? Am I happy with my family's financial situation? Am I happy with um my health journey? Am I happy with my relationships with the people in my life? Am I happy? If I were to stop what I was aiming for, would I be happy in this spot? Now there's God has made us multifaceted. So there's a couple things. There's contentment in our season while striving for better. We are meant to be content where we are in a sense where we're not complaining about where we are without taking action, right? If we just, if every day we just showed up and like, my car doesn't work today. There's no food in the refrigerator. And we don't take action, you're just complaining. Israelites in the wilderness just being annoying to God. But if we, as women of faith, would come together and say, okay, I praise you, Lord, that we have a home, we have a vehicle, we have food that keeps our bellies full. I praise you, Lord, and I know you put a desire for more in my heart. So I am going to do what it takes to get there. Because at the end of the day, my success also reflects the glory of God. Is because that my whole thing is if I'm going to go anywhere, if you're gonna see me anywhere, if I'm gonna get a prize award, whatever, mm, let me tell you, he gets the glory. But if I don't get those prizes, if I don't earn the awards, if I don't, who do I talk to about God's glory? Me in my room, in my kid's bedroom with the like what like or I push and I work and I grind and I say at the end of the day when I'm standing on stage and they're handing me an award, I'd say to God be the glory. He did this. Mm-mm. And it's worth every effort. It is worth it to know that people who do not know him will be pointed to him through my actions. They'll say Nelly is an honorable woman who loves people, who serves diligently, and who reflects the love of God in everything that she does. That is my goal. And whether my family ever moves out of this house, if we ever figure anything out financially, whatever, God's got me. My kids are fed. We have a home. I feel like y'all don't know. And whoever watches this replay is gonna learn a whole lot about me. But I'm this house is a manufactured home. It's a double wide trailer. And I feel like it's the best home I have ever had. Um, my kids have like we live in a safe community. We have a yard. We have um a vehicle that works. We have, but like I've lived in bigger houses. I've lived in sturdier places. I've lived, but this is my home. And if we never leave this place, I will be fine. And I'm content in this. I'm content in this. But I also want a farmhouse with an acre land and I want to be able to grow my own stuff and I want to be able to have chickens and I want to be able, I want to get off the grid. So like, Lord, I'm content in this home. But if you would give me more, oh Jesus, what I would do for you, Lord. Anyway, that's a whole aside. But so these are these things. When you're having those low moments, and you will, I guarantee you there will be low moments coming. Yeah, baby. Not yet, but we can do bikes in a few minutes, okay? I'll do it now. Mm-hmm. So, whoa, 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 whoa. 3-year-olds. They're fun. Elijah, that chair's gonna break. You need to relax, okay? Do you want to sit with me in the meeting? Or you can give me a few minutes. All right. Almost done. I have to think about where my train of thought went. Like far, far away. Being content where you are, but also striving for more, understanding. And here's the thing, like we are women, we are Proverbs 31 women, right? I firmly believe that. And I've watched women in their need to protect themselves They look at the Proverbs 31 woman and they say, that's not real. No woman could do that. That's not achievable. Well, that was, yeah, all these different things. All these different things. And while I do believe that um the accolades of the Proverbs 31 woman was accumulated over time, because it says her children call her blessed, which means they're grown, they understand the value that she has poured into them. I also know that at some point she decided she was going to care for her home. She was going to care for how her children are dressed. She was going to sell clothes at the market. She was going to choose to laugh in the difficult times. She was like, she was going to run her household in a way that would give her husband the freedom to go do, to be positioned in a place of authority in the city, right? In the town. At some point, and now she also had servants, which I do believe that it is totally okay to hire help in your house, to hire a cleaning service when you can afford it, to, have your groceries delivered. I'm okay with all that. These are those little tools that are that is totally fine by me. Like, just don't raise my kids for me. You can mop my floor and clean the toilets all day. Um, but so there has to be a time where we choose to say, well, if that woman can do it, then so can I. There's nothing inherently wrong with me that I can't do it too. And so if there's pockets of moments that you can look at your life, and if at any point you look at another woman and say, yeah, her, but not me, that's a limiting belief. And it's time to confront it head on. I remember, okay, final story, and then I'll close out this thing. I earned the cruise last year. I was in Plexus for all of 4 months, 5 months when I earned the cruise. They don't make it challenging to earn these things, but it's still like, I earned it. I had lost 20 pounds by the time I got on the cruise. Still very much heavy. My friend Christina is also overweight. And we basically two big girls on this cruise. And and it was like we were surrounded by gorgeous women. And I tell this story all the time because it's just a full on, like, in the face of a limiting belief. We're walking on this cruise, and Plexus bought out the whole ship. So it was all Plexus people. And it was just these beautiful women, gorgeous Barbie dolls, perfect hair, perfect makeup, beautiful outfits. And like, oh, I'll cry on this one. I couldn't afford to buy new clothes for the cruise. I couldn't afford it. So like it wasn't even like I could pretend to be like a part of them, you know? I couldn't even pretend. But so I got on this cruise, and we were meeting all these amazing women. And the one thing I love about Plexus is that there's not one woman who will not pour into you. Not one. When they say one Plexus mindset, it is literally that, whether you are on their team or not. There's so many women that are just like, here, take what I know. You get to the top, run, let's go. It's just this beautiful, beautiful culture of the women in Plexus. Okay. So we get there, we're talking to Joanna, which is our diamond upline. Diamond is the top of the company, the top rank in the company. And we're talking to her about our struggles. Are we too fat to make it to the top? We don't look like them. We're both Hispanic. We just don't do we and she says, "Oh, hang on, let me introduce you to someone." And at that moment, another diamond walks into the room, and it was she was an overweight diamond ambassador. She was a plus size, and she didn't change her. I mean, she was when she went diamond, she was a single mother of five. Her husband had died, and she had to make it happen. And so she couldn't have the thought of, I'm too fat to let it happen, because her family needed her to make an income. They needed her. It was either her go work and put her kids' care in someone else's hands, or she had to make Plexus work. And so she made Plexus work. Um, and we got to meet her, my friend Christina. We took pictures, with her, and just as living proof that women that look like us could make it to the top of this company. That you can, your gut health is gut health, but if you want to lose the weight, you got to partner with diet and movement. I mean, it's just it's just gut health is gut health. But if you really want to look like a Barbie, you got to do the extra stuff. You'll lose a few pounds to start. You will, but you got to do the other stuff. Anyway, you can make it to the top of this company. Overweight, whatever race, gender, whatever limiting curly hair, straight hair, brown eyes, blue eyes, purple skin, it doesn't matter. Like, there's literally not one factor about you that will disqualify you from being able to make it to the top of this company. And again, some of us are coming from different layers of all the limiting beliefs and the layers, so it may take some of us a little longer than others. But wouldn't it be better if knowing 15 from years from now you're making six-figure income? 15 years are it's gonna come no matter what, right? They say the average time it takes a woman to get to diamond and plexus is about 3 years. So 3 years is going to come and go. It's going to come and go. What are you going to do to help grow your mindset? What are you going to do to help grow your team? What are you going to do to help overcome the low moments? The time is going to pass regardless. And literally every month that you allow your thoughts to keep you from moving forward, that is 1 month further out from your goal. 90% of the time, like all these women that are diamonds, it wasn't handed to them. They had to work. They had to confront their limiting beliefs. They had to act as if they were a rank that they weren't. So I will talk to you as if I am a diamond until I get there. And then when I get there, I'm going to talk like I'm a double diamond. I'm going to talk like I'm a 5-star diamond until I get there. And that's what, if for you, if all you can do is talk about the next rank up, I'm a senior silver. I'm a senior silver. I'm a senior silver. Until you get there, do it. Say, I am fully capable of helping 3 people get started. What's 3 people? I can birth 3 people in 10 years. Like you can like it's 3 people. You can do that. You have influence. You have relatability. You have a story. Even if it's I poop better. My goodness, girl, there are so many women that are dying to poop. Just share that. There's so much in that. Okay. You have what it takes. There's nothing about you that is incapable of getting it done. And at the end of the day, the time is going to pass. We don't know how much time. You know what? I'm going to share one more story and then I'm really going to be done. We've got 4 minutes. I'm running out of time anyway. Um, the Bible, Jesus tells a story of the parable of the sower, where he gave talents to 3 people, right? To one, he gave 1 talent. To another, he gave 5. To the third, he gave 10 talents. And they each did what their beliefs told them to do. So one like sowed it, one invested, whatever. And the one with 1 talent, he had 1 talent. So we can either say like he had one good thing he was doing or money. He only had a little bit of money. And he chose to bury it. He did nothing with it. Absolutely nothing. And then it says the master comes back and he says, okay, what'd you do with my money? And the first guy, I doubled your money. This guy, I brought you another. Then the last guy says, well, I know you're a tough guy. And you earn where you didn't sow. Money's coming at you left and right. So I got scared. So I chose to bury it so I could just give it right back to you at the end of the day. And that's the guy that the master was like, you wicked servant. If you knew that I've got money coming left and right, you could have at least put it in the bank. and get some interest off of it that way. Why would you choose to bury it? And so this is my whole point to you. You could have one talent, one skill, one itty bitty, like just one thing that you have going for you. And you can choose to do nothing with it, or you could say, you know what? Even if the only thing I ever do with this company is that I get my products covered, okay, that's something. That's something. At bare minimum, I can get my products covered. At bare minimum. But you're also helping people in the midst of that. Like you're getting your products covered, but those people that are getting products are also being served, are also being taken care of. And you choosing to let each month go by saying, "Oh, I'm afraid that if I don't get successful in this, what if I don't make it to diamond? What if I don't make it to senior silver? What if I don't make it? Oh, I better just not do anything." Does that make sense? Does that seem like, oh, what if that friend thinks I'm weird? What if they think that I'm too pushy? What if they think that I'm not meant to do this? What if they don't believe in me? So what? You're not going to drop dead if someone says no thanks. And there are so many testimonials of diamonds today that talk about how they blocked on social media the lady who invited them to Plexus. And then a year later, they came back around. So, like, whatever. But final thing. See this? I took this when I went on the cruise, they gave every rank a band, and I took this one in faith. And so I wear it every day until I own it. Anyway, thank you for being a part of this call. Just know that we are a group of sisters pushing forward for the Lord's glory, and we're going to get it done. All right. I love you all so much. Bye. Mwah.